Okay, so does everybody know who Teepa Snow is? Everybody has some background on Teepa Snow. Yeah?
I've heard no background.
Okay. So if you took the dementia care course in the last, say, 10 years, she's been a component of that, but prior to that she wasn't. And as the years progress, the dementia care course is going to evolve into mostly Teepa Snow. So Teepa has worked as an educator in dementia for an extensive period of time, and she's developed an approach to support and engage individuals with dementia. She has a background in occupational therapy, and she's done that for 30 to 40 years, and has been in many different areas in the field through healthcare. So a lot of this is hands-on, meaning hands on each other. So is there anybody uncomfortable with being touched? No? Or touching? It's not touching too much. It's not inappropriate touching.
Don't touch, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a component. So it's about learning through doing, and it's also, there's a video component. It's really interesting. You're going to be like, wow. Even I still watch the videos, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one point, or I didn't realize that. So here we go.
What we're going to talk about
Oh,
now
you can't hear it that way, can you?
normal aging.
Oh, and another note is this one's about this workshop here is normal aging versus not normal. So we all are at some point in your day or your life, you're like, oh my God, I forgot the keys somewhere. Where the hell did I leave my keys? Or you walk into a room, you forget why you walked in there, you back yourself out, you go back in again. So it's just differentiating between the normal versus not normal.
And not normal aging. Now understand, I did not say dementia. I just said normal aging, not normal aging, because one of our big misconceptions in this country is that if it's not normal aging, it's going to be dementia. And that's not true. So we've got to get that one off the table. So what I'm going to do very quickly is give you two quick little role plays that are going to take you through normal versus not normal. So I'll do normal first. I'm in the living room, and I've been watching a TV program, and the program finishes, and I decide, you know what? I'm thirsty. I think I'm going to go make a pot of coffee. And I head toward the kitchen to make coffee. But before I get all the way in the kitchen, the telephone rings. And so I answer the telephone. Hello? Oh, hey, sweetheart. How have you been? Well, yes, of course I know who it is. It's, right on the tip of my tongue. It starts with B. Betty. Of course it's Betty. Sorry. Recognized your voice right away, just couldn't think of your name. Yeah, senior moment. Huh? What? Oh, no, I'd love to get together. Oh, today? Okay, what? At 2? This afternoon? All right. Oh, at the mall. Okay, well, which end? Macy's. Oh. That's where JCPenney's was, right? They moved out and then, I know what you're talking about. Absolutely. The menswear, is that the same? Yep. I know where to be. 2 o'clock, I'll be there. Wait right inside the door. I'll be waiting right inside that door. It's supposed to be a little chilly this afternoon. Yep. Huh? What? Oh, they opened a new chocolate store. Oh. Well, you know me. You know what I'm going to get. I'll get caramels. I always get caramels. You're going to get, I know you like the white flaky stuff in the chocolate. Yes, coconut, of course. That's you. Huh? Oh, no, I'll be happy to call and see if Margaret wants to come. That'd be great. Yeah. Oh, the vacation pictures? Oh, yeah, I'll bring them. Wait till you see yourself in that bathing suit. Oh, I was just kidding. Just teasing you. You know how I am. Such a teaser. She's getting fat. I'm not going to say it, but she sure is getting fat. Huh? What? No, I didn't say anything. I was just talking to myself. Write the note. All right, sweetheart. Well, I'll see you then. Love you. Okay. Bye-bye. What did I come in here for? Okay, hang on, let me think here. I was in the living room, I was watching the TV. Program ended. Damn, if Betty hadn't called, I'd been able to remember. Okay, let me think on this. What in here? Okay, I was in the living room, I was sitting right here. Okay, and the program ended, and I thought, man, oh, coughing. Why could I not think of that? Lord knows I'm losing it. Now, all of you've gone dead silent because all of your brains are going, oh shit, I have this. Every single one of your brains is going, oh my God. And your brain is going, that's not dementia, that can't be dementia. I don't think that's dementia, that's just normal. Is that normal? I think that's normal. Your brain is talking to itself. One side is going, I think you've got dementia. No, she didn't say that was dementia. I think she said that was just not normal. I think that was okay. That happens every single time. The room gets dead silent. Because if you just think old people are worried about this crap, no, we're all concerned. Because you're going, I think I've done that. I did that just yesterday. What you've totally forgot, because in that moment your brain was going, is I said that was normal. I was going to do normal first. So here's what I think I better do. Do this. Roll your shoulders. I think we better do it one more time. You need to let it go. Breathe out all the way because you guys were going. And by the end, your brain's going, shit, oh my God, you got it. I got it. You lose. I told you it was stress. I didn't think it was just stress. I told you it was especially when I had to come back and sit in the chair. You're going, oh my God.
So, how did that make you feel? The scenario. Did it provoke some anxiety in anybody? Thinking that, wow, is that dementia or is it not dementia?
Sometimes, yeah.
Right, so in those moments, you're like, oh my gosh. What?
I'm thinking it's normal.
You're thinking that's
Not
normal?
normal, but
For me, it's
Right, but
we tend to forget things.
Yeah.
we tend to forget,
Because we had
especially,
so much going on.
right.
And when she called, it kind of
She put a
threw
lot
her off.
of info, gave a lot of information, where to meet and.
What to do
And
and where
what
am
to
I
do,
going and
right.
yeah, what am I buying you?
Everything
How many
you
am I
had
buying?
And the chocolates.
And then the pictures.
New stores,
Yeah.
threw her right off.
So when you get anxious and nervous, the body dumps cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So when you're in those moments, the cortisol causes even more stress. So now you're distressed and your brain's not working properly. So all together, we're going to do the deep breathing that she showed everybody to do in the video. So in through your nose, out through your mouth. Fully will lower your cortisol levels and bring you back to a normal level. May also make you fall asleep if you worked all day.
Sometimes when we get back in my truck.
Breathe. Always should breathe, especially when you're getting anxious and nervous. If it's something going on with a client or a resident, your stress hormone that's being dumped because you're getting anxious and nervous is going through the roof.
Even if you're exhausted, right? It's
Exactly.
good to do that.
Yeah.
When you're exhausted, you're like,
Yeah.
just relax.
Okay, so here we go. Hand up. Human beings have 5 ways to take things from, do this, out there and get them in their brain. 5 ways to take data from the world around you and put it in here so you can use it. You can process it, you can understand it, you can appreciate it. So the number 1 way, notice how it's separated from all the others. It's special. Do this, be an artist. Visual data. Visual data is the most powerful incoming data. It is what human beings prefer, and it is what they want first in any way of collecting data. They want to see something first. It allows them to see it, and then they can start to think about what they want to do next. But what you see is the most powerful sensory input that you're going to get in your brain. But here's the interesting thing about vision. Show me what you see with. Point to what you see with. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Put your hand back here. This is where you process in your brain what you see. So brain activity in the occipital area, the back of your brain, is where you process visual input. There's a little bit of distance there, isn't there? What connects the input system to the processing system is wiring. And in dementia, all wiring goes on the fritz and then dies. Just so you know. So there's a lot of wiring here. It's complicated wiring. It's actually fairly complicated because how many eyes do you have? 2. So you've got to take in data from 2 eyes, integrate those 2 pieces of data, process it, and then make sense of it. So all that's happening in the back of your brain. I'll show you in a few minutes. There's a huge amount of your brain devoted to visual processing. It's huge. There's also wiring between what you see and some other parts. Second way that you get data in your brain, take your index finger. Oh, look at how it points to.
Okay, so what is it?
Visual.
Visual. And where do you process it?
In the back.
In the back of your brain.
Things. What you hear, auditory incoming. Auditory data is the second most important way that human beings get data into their brain. Auditory. But if you hear a sound off to the side, what will you immediately do? Look, because this is primary. This just alerts you to go look and see what it is you want to see. So when it comes to dementia, visual then auditory. People with dementia pay more attention and are getting more value out of what they see than what they hear. This is secondary, this is primary. Guess what caregivers like to do a lot though? Do this. Y'all love to run your mouth. You think they're paying attention to what you're saying. What they're doing is watching you when you're saying it. And they're picking up on your visual cues, but they're missing the content cues. Do this. So take the weapon that you've created, put it to your head, and pull the trigger. Because what happens is we think they're processing what we're giving them verbally, and what they're really processing is how we look visually and how we sound, but not necessarily the content. And because we're not on the same page, they're not getting this, they're getting this. We think they're getting this. This is not going to match. Who has to change? We do. So we have to use less of this and start with this. And learn to use visual more than auditory. Third way you get data in, auditory. Put your hands right here. Your temporal lobes. Both sides are involved, but they're very different. This side is very different than this side. How many ears do you have? 2. All forms of dementia, all forms attack the brain asymmetrically. It means it attacks one side of the brain more than the other. That's how it works. It hits one side and then it spreads more. So what happens in general, the left side of the brain is generally attacked sooner and faster and more devastatingly than the right side of the brain. We don't know exactly why, but most patterns of dementia attack, you're going to see more on the left than on the right. Left, right, language areas, but they're different. We'll come back to that in a little bit.
So, again, visual, processing, temporal, auditory, and where do they process? Temporal. And which goes first? Left. And they're both responsible for language. So the difference between, I always get my left. The difference between the left and the right, left is language, it's the content. The right is rhythm. So if you remember it as left language, right rhythm. Okay? So what they lose first is the left side. So they're not getting that you're saying, we have to go to the bathroom and get dressed for the day. They're getting the rhythm of how you're saying it. So they're not understanding the content. Or that person who has progressed along in their dementia, who repeats themselves over and over again. So they say shit, 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 or whatever the word is. Apple, apple, apple. It's the rhythm of the word, not the content of the word. Okay?
So they don't even understand.
They don't, no, and they don't know that what they're saying is shit. Or apple.
Third way that you get data in your brain. Take that middle finger, drop it down, and touch it to the back of your other hand. Now this is actually complicated. And this is one of the most complicated, and it also takes up a lot of brain space. This is sensory motor. You feel something, you do something, you do something, you feel something. They're wired together. So that when you feel something, if you like it, you do more of it. If you don't like it, you stop doing it. So when you feel something, you do something to change or encourage or facilitate what you're feeling, and if you don't like it, you don't do it anymore. Here's the biggest challenge of dementia care. Turn to the person next to you. And if you will come up this time for me, Sharon. Thanks. All right, now what we're going to do is eliminate vision, and we're not going to talk. Okay, so we're taking away 2 of the ways that you would normally be.
Okay, so I want you 3 out in the hallway, and you 3 up against the counter with your hands behind your back and your eyes closed. Don't trip on any waters, for God's sakes.
Might not be the waters, might be the tea. Cheers.
Well, don't, you guys won't be moving.
Okay.
Okay, but put your hands behind your backs with your eyes closed.
My eyes closed. No. Just imagine if you were blind.
That's why I can't have a hard time keeping close.
Yeah.
Eyes closed, hands behind your back. Ah.
God.
So ask your partner, how did that make you feel?
Like I'm about to go to sleep. I was going to put up my feet and see if she grabbed my feet.
You were liking it.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking to myself, no,
Well, Aaron,
He's gonna go to sleep.
We would have freaked
you should have
out.
gave you somebody else.
It's a little ticklish.
See, she married into my family, so poor girl.
Yeah, yeah. We got the same vibe.
How would you, if you weren't who you are, and you were
Someone
a
with
client
dementia.
or resident or patient who has dementia, how would you feel?
They wouldn't know what to do. They would
Probably confused.
they or hit,
Yes.
yeah, bite.
Right,
Exactly, yeah. Or push you away.
Yep.
Be almost like they're blind and well, thinking
Right.
is like that.
Maybe understand a little bit better why they react the way they do, I guess, when we're trying to like clean them or anything like that. They don't really know what's going on.
Exactly. So what do we always do? Well, not so much with us because we don't have rotas or Jaren chairs typically, but in long-term care for you two, what do we always do when everybody's sitting around the TV area and it's 6 o'clock in the evening and it's downtime? So nobody's really doing anything, but you're supposed to be engaging the clients. So we walk up behind that poor client in the rota chair and stick our hands in their hair. And they have no idea what is going on or what the sensation is. Right? How horrible. Or go up to somebody when they're laying in bed and pull back the blankets and say, "It's time to get up, John." Right? How frightening.
Yeah.
Okay, you can sit down now. So, sit down and touch yourself. That's those touches, right? Those touches. Right? How's that different?
Because it's
Why?
you
Yeah.
know what's
And
going on.
you know what's going on. You know that touch is coming because you're doing it yourself.
Be able to get data into your brain, and I'm just going to use that third way. Oh. Go ahead and do that so you get the feel of what it feels like when you're doing this. So you can already tell where I'm going with this. This is not a good one to start with because most people are not fond of the idea of starting an interaction like this. And I do this particularly so you'll start to get the idea of no touching until you've done a visual, verbal, and only then are you allowed to do the touch. You got to make sure they come together. So here's what we're going to do. You close your eyes. People with dementia, put your hands behind your back because I want you to feel incredibly vulnerable. That's what this disease does. It robs you of skills, so you suddenly are pretty vulnerable. And you thought you were confident. Okay, so caregivers, here's what you're going to do. You watch me and do to them what I do to my person. Okay, y'all should have your eyes closed. There should be no peeking. Notice how many of you opened them up to see what I was up to. Yeah, they're sneaky like that. Okay, you ready? We're going to use these. Okay, ready? And now, one more. Now, I'm going to pause you.
We don't pause because I paused early.
How many of you found at some point who were being touched, your eyes flew open? How many of you realized you had a really hard time not going, oh, wait a minute, hang on there. Now, what I want you to do right now is touch yourself where we just touched you. Go ahead and touch yourself where we made the touches. How many of you feel that that feels different than when we touched you? Yeah, because if you are doing it yourself, you're actually sending and receiving, and it's a closed circuit. However, when we do to you, it's an open circuit, and for your brain, we eliminated the knowledge of where and when the touch was going to occur, and so your brain was going, oh, 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 oh. It was a hyper alerting, and let me tell you something that we don't think about touch. Light moving touch. Light moving touch. Cockroaches crawling on your skin. Clothes rubbing across. Someone sneaking up on you. Light moving touch is an alerting, arousing touch. It's the hyper alert kind of thing. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Because it says something's coming and you don't know what it is. And so what happens when we put our hands on people, even lightly, so you touch them lightly and say, wake up, sweetheart. Boom! Because it came out of nowhere. So what I'm going to do is have you try something a little different. And we'll really work on this skill this afternoon, but I want you to test drive the model and see if it makes a difference. Okay? I want you to shake hands with the person. Now, I want you to tell me for a second, what's the most common contact we have with other human beings when we're greeting them and interacting with them? Hand contact, right? So shake hands, and notice the next thing you're going to want to do is let go. Oh, well, that's a bit of a problem. Because I want to stay connected, because I want to keep the touch so that you'll know what I'm going to do. But the problem is when I lose skill and keep strength, and I like pressure, go ahead and do it. Ow! Wait, Mom, let go. Let go. What are you doing? Okay? Or if they feel like I'm trying to hold on to them, it makes them want to get away from me. Okay? So what we're going to do is as soon as we shake, where did I tell you you found comfort? So what we're going to do, and I don't want to trap your fingers. I want to leave your fingers free. I want my fingers free, but I want to be connected to you. So what I'm going to do is slide like this. Do this. Open your fingers up, both